So let's start. What is measurement and scaling? We are going to cover a very important topic today, measurement and scaling. So what we are going to cover today is what is measurement and scaling and some characteristics of scales. And there are different scales: nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval, and ratio scale. But why we are studying this scaling? Why we are studying this measurement? So first, let me ask you this question: what is measurement? What do you understand by measurement? Very simple question. What is measurement? Say you are measuring height, right? What do you understand by measurement?
Ma'am, the shape, size, quality, etc. of something.
Ma'am, quantity of anything.
The act or process of measuring something.
Act of process of measuring something. Okay. So let this something be height. Okay. What is the act? What is the process? If you have to measure height of a person, how you are going to measure it?
Ma'am, we will use the measuring scale.
We will select a scale and
select the 5 feet something.
So you'll ask that person to stand against a wall, and you will come with your measuring tape, and then you will put this measuring tape and from bottom to and level it to the head of that person, and then you'll say, okay, 4 inches or whatever, 5 feet 4 inches, whatever the height is. This is the process through which you will measure a person's height. So what is measurement and scaling? Measurement means you are assigning numbers or other symbols to characteristics of objects. So object is what here? That person is object, and you are assigning numbers. That is height, that is say 5 feet. Okay, so you are assigning that number to an object, that is a person, according to certain pre-specified rule. And rule is here that you apply that tape measure and you extend it vertically from ground to the top of the head, and using ruler you are measuring it. So that is measurement. I'll come to scaling later, but like I said, measurement and scaling is most important areas of research. Why do you think measurement is important? What you are able to do by measuring?
Ma'am, we can get the appropriate results and we can compare it with the actual results. I mean, comparison.
Appropriate.
You get the numbers. Basically, you get the numbers so to compare.
The results, yes, numbers to compare. Okay, basically, if I have to compare two things, right? If I have to compare A and B, say using distance, and this is C. So using distance, sorry, this is C. And I can check what is the distance from A to B, and I can check what is the distance from E to C, and I can measure, and check which one is closer to A. So it's a way to compare between two different objects. So like distance, weight, all these are measurement. And but that is quite easy. Let's take a notch higher. What if I have to measure something like behavior? How honest are you? Or how loyal are you? How satisfied are you? How satisfied customer is? How good are you? All these stand by latent. So I discussed something about latent variable that is hidden. So can you ask how satisfied you are with this, and you'll get an answer. Do you expect that? Or is it something which is hidden? Let's say, let me give you one example. Then you will be able to understand it. What drives job satisfaction? If I say I have to measure satisfaction at job. Okay, your satisfaction job. So what are the parameters that will define, that will drive the satisfaction? What are the parameters, if they are like good, or that actually define your satisfaction with that job?
good paycheck.
Sorry, good paycheck. Yeah, your salary, right?
Working condition.
Working hours.
Working hours, yes. And
Ma'am, extra benefits.
incentives and other benefits.
Yes, incentives and other benefits. So all these things, these, the satisfaction with the job is derived from all these parameters. So satisfaction is something which is not, direct. You can't measure it directly, but it is it's a function of all these parameters, of these underlying parameters that derive satisfaction, and it's an abstract concept. And you have to, and there is some correlation with satisfaction and salary, hours, incentives, whatever parameters that you are taking. So we'll see how, through scales and how you can measure all these things. Okay, let me give you one more question. What is the difference between rating and ranking? What comes in your mind? Rating kab suna hai, ranking kab suna hai? What is the difference between rating and ranking?
Ma'am, we can rate in numbers.
We can rate in numbers. Okay. Rate in numbers mean?
Ma'am, rating can be on the basis of like
ma'am.
alphabets also. Like when it comes to S&P and Moody's, they give GDP rating. So A plus, BB minus.
Yes. Okay. A plus they give rating, but that is also on a specified number, that if you score that much and then that number A plus is assigned, otherwise A is assigned.
Yes, ma'am. But
And
when you're
rating can
comparing
be
it
done
with
on
ranking,
the
ranking is on the basis of number and rating can be on this basis.
Ma'am, ranking is
Ma'am, when you-
basically like when, ma'am, rating is a measurement of how good or poor a person or quality or something is. And ranking, ma'am, like in examples, sorry, ma'am, in competitions, we rank people according to their work.
Ma'am, we compare when we rank.
Compare.
Like we compare to the top one, like in entrance examinations and in rating, ma'am, they say
Ma'am,
it's
ranking
called
will
common
define.
scale.
Rating
rating
will
is done
depend
on
on
their
that
performance,
particular
ma'am,
position.
how well they are doing.
Ranking is defined performance, whereas rating may or may not be a defined performance.
Defined, not defined.
Ma'am,
Okay.
through ranking, we can also judge the position of a particular company.
Judge the position, okay, but that you can do through rating also. Okay, so I can see there's a lot of confusion around rating and ranking, but after this session, okay, after having this understanding on scales, kind of data that you get, kind of analysis you can do after getting that data, you'll be able to understand what is the difference between rating and ranking. Okay, so just to I'm just passing this question right now. So there are four scales of measurement, four primary scales of measurement. First is nominal. What do you understand by nominal? Any idea about nominal? Have you ever heard nominal scale, nominal data? No?
Ma'am,
So yes.
in name or thought, but not in real.
Okay, so nominal is when you are assigning numbers to object and where different numbers indicate different objects. Say male and female, you are assigning number 1 and 2. So you are assigning 1 to male and 2 to female. But these numbers doesn't mean anything. It is not that, male is any better than female or females are any better than male. These are just for identification. So as long as all males get same number, that is here 1, and all females get same number, that is 2, so you are creating a distinction. It's just for identification, you are assigning that number. Okay, that is a nominal scale. So in nominal scale, what you are doing, different numbers indicate different objects. So male here I'm giving 1 and female I'm giving 2 number. So that doesn't mean that male is any inferior or any better than female. It's just that 1 stands for male, 2 stands for female. I can also give 601 to male and 602 to female, or vice versa. Okay, so do you understand this nominal scale?
It's like categorizing it and giving it a number or something.
Yes. So it's called categorical data as well. So you are categorizing it, you are making the categories, and you are just but these are you are just assigning the numbers. You are making that categories so that you can identify this is which category. Okay. And accordingly you are giving the number. So let me give you one more example for baseball uniform numbers. Okay, so this is also nominal scale. So this number 14 doesn't tell anything about that player's position or ranking or anything linked with that. Nothing. It's not telling anything about it. It's just used to identify that player. For example, Messi has what number? Messi's
10.
number is, I think 5 or 10, right? Yes.
It's 10. 10.
It's 10. Okay, Ritik, I'm with you, whatever you are seeing. Okay. So it's 10. So it's just telling you that about that player. Okay. So that number 10 is Messi. But it's not telling about the position or anything. It has no other meaning. It's just for identification. So that is called nominal scale. Okay, so I gave you two examples. One is of gender, that is male and female. So you can put any number. For example, you can put 601 here, 605 here to females, but 601, all males should be given 601 and all females should be given 605. Okay, or if say jersey number or uniform number, they are just telling you that which player it is, just for identification of that player. Okay. So numbers are serve only as labels or tags for identifying and classifying objects. Okay. Second is ordinal scale. What do you understand by ordinal?
Ma'am, in ordinal, we give ranking basically. Like you were giving the example of job satisfaction. So how satisfied are you? 5, 4, 3. In a survey, like we give ranking.
Yes, we give ranking, and
They are defined.
Sorry.
They are defined numbers. Like 5 if you are highly satisfied, and 1 if you are less satisfied. So they are defined.
हाँ, so इसमें भी और डिटेल में डिस्कस करेंगे डिफाइंड नंबर्स का क्या मतलब होता है, एंड देन द स्केल दैट यू आर टेलिंग, हाईली satisfied, dissatisfied, what is the difference between Likert scale, rating scale and ranking scale. We'll cover that. So yes, so ordinal scale is when you are talking about order. So you assign numbers to objects like in nominal, but here the numbers also have meaningful order. वहां पर male female 1 2 का मतलब ये नहीं था कि 2 is bigger or 1 is bigger. Okay, जब हम gender बता रहे थे. But if in race, one person comes for first, another second, and next one third. So that's an order. We know that first is better, and then second is better than third. Okay, so there is order. First, second, and third. But you don't know, what is the difference between first and second, how better first one is from second, how better second one is from third. So that is an ordinal scale. You only know the order, first, second, third. For example, first person finishes a race in say 20 minutes. Okay. And second, the person who comes at second position or second rank finishes in 30 minutes. And third person say finishes in 1 hour. Okay, so we are not giving this 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. We are not seeing that. We are just giving first, second, and third, these ranks. So first, second, third से हमें क्या पता चल रहा है? That first is better than second, second is better than third, or first came first, and after that second come, and after that third one came. Okay, so these are just giving you the order, but it's not telling कि first and second का क्या difference है और second and third का क्या difference है. So what you do in ordinal is that you assign numbers to object, but here the numbers also have meaningful order. वहां पर first और second में male and female में कोई order नहीं था. यहाँ पर we know that first is better than second, and second is better than third. So they also have an order, Example, first place finished in a race is first, second, third. So number indicates placement or order. First is better than second and so on. So we can rank people with ordinal scale or ordinal data. Okay. So what is ordinal scale? It's a ranking scale in which numbers are assigned to objects to indicate the relative extent to which object possesses more characteristics. So we can determine whether an object has more of that characteristics or less of that characteristic. कि first है, second है, third है, okay. First better है, second better है, third से ये बता सकते हैं. But कितना better है? That is to how much extent, how much more or less, we can't tell that. So that is ordinal scale. Next come interval scale. So what is interval scale?
Difference in between.
Difference in between, yes. So the difference is same. Okay. First, second, third. So difference between first and second, difference between second and third is same. Let me give you one example. So for example, temperature. Temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. So the difference between 78 and 79 is the same as the difference between 45 and 46. Okay. हमारे ऑर्डिनल स्केल में ये नहीं होता कि फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड, जैसे आई टोल्ड यू नो फर्स्ट पोजीशन पे ये भी हो सकता है अ पर्सन हु स्कोर्ड 350 goals scored first position, a person who scored 200 goals got second position, and third maybe at 60 goals. So but I don't know how many goals a person scored by seeing just the rank, that is first, second and third. In interval scale you have equal width. जैसे temperature is measured on interval scale. So what is the difference between 78 and 79 is the same as the difference between 45 and 46. Now why we are studying all these scales, let me take you to last example also, that is of ratio scale. Just one second. Yes. So last one is ratio. We have covered nominal, we have covered ordinal, then interval, and fourth one is ratio. So what is ratio scale? For example, weight, sales, income, all these are ratio scales. Ratio scales मतलब उसमें सारी चीजें होंगी. It will have the characteristic of nominal, that is you can identify. It will have characteristics of ordinal, there's going to be an order. It will have characteristic of interval, that is that equally spaced distance. And fourth one that's very important in ratio scale is that there is true zero. Okay, so there is true zero, जो हमारी कंडीशन इंटरवल स्केल में नहीं थी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं बोलती हूँ 0 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड और if I say 0 degree Fahrenheit, what does that mean? Does that mean the temperature is 0? Does that mean there is no hotness or no coldness? What does that mean? Does that mean if I say 0 degree Fahrenheit? So there's no such absence which we feel in ratio. अगर मैं बोलती हूँ 0 kg weight, what does that mean? Weight is 0, that there is no weight, right? If I say 0 is the height, what does that mean? So there's missing of that characteristics. But if I say 0 degree centigrade, what does that mean? Are you able to understand this? 0 pounds means no weight or an absence of weight. So there is this true 0 point in ratio scale, but it is not in interval scale or in any of the other scales. So if I say income is what scale? Is it ratio scale? Is it interval or nominal or ordinal? इनकम कौन से स्केल पे आएगा?
Ratio.
Yes, it's ratio because there is true zero. Zero income means zero income. That's no income. Okay. But if I say 0 degree centigrade or 0 degree Fahrenheit, it doesn't mean the absence of that characteristics. Okay, there's going to be some temperature there. So interval scale may, there is no such zero. There's no such real zero. It is only in ratio scale that there is absolute zero. Okay. So it possesses all the properties of nominal, ordinal, and interval scales. It has an absolute 0 point also. It is meaningful to compute ratios of scale values and other things. And some statistical techniques you can apply. Let's do one thing. Let's compare all these scales. Okay, I have already taken you through these examples. So what is the difference between interval and ordinal? What is the difference between interval and ordinal? What example I gave you for interval? Interval,
Temperature.
yes, temperature. And for ordinal,
Race.
I gave you race. That is first, second, and third वाली जो rank पे आ रहा है. Okay. So what is the difference between interval and ordinal, between this temperature and this race scale? What is the difference?
Ma'am, in interval scale, differences are meaningful.
Yes, in interval scale, the difference is meaningful, as in the difference is same. But in ordinal, that is difference between first and second, difference between second and third rank is not same. We don't know what is the difference. But here in temperature, say 27 and 28, 29, the difference is same. Okay, the difference is the same at all points of the scale. This is interval scale and this is ordinal. That is the difference between these two. Okay, next is, let's compare the scale interval versus ratio. This is weight. This is, what scale is this? Weight is interval or ratio?
Ratio.
Ratio.
Right. And
can you give some other examples for interval scale?
yes, I'll give you that. Okay. Temperature.
Interval.
Temperature is interval. Okay. So what is the difference between interval and ratio here? So in ratio, I told you when this difference, no? What is the difference between ratio and interval scale?
True zero.
There is no true zero.
Ratio, and there's no true zero in interval.
Yes, there is true zero in ratio, but there is no true zero in interval. So also, 5 plus 5, say you can add this. 5 plus 5 makes 10 kg. But you can't do that 40 degrees plus 40 degrees equals to 80. You can't do that. Okay. So this is the difference between interval and ratio. Okay. Third is, what is the difference between nominal versus ordinal, interval, and ratio? Let's compare all four. Let's compare nominal with all three. So nominal has, nominal is base wall uniform numbers, this one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Okay. So it only serves to differentiate players. Okay. You can only differentiate players and, identify players. But there's no order, like in ranking. Here in ordinal, there is this ranking. There is no order in nominal. There is no meaningful difference like in interval scale, and there is no meaningful ratios or true 0 point. Okay, like in ratio scale. So, kya hota hai? All these scales are progressive. So nominal comes first, जिसमें सिर्फ identification है, then is ordinal, that is identification भी है but order भी है, that is ranking scale. Then comes interval, that where you have rating scales, जहाँ पर order भी है, जहाँ पर nominal वाली identification वाली characteristics भी है, and then what else it has? Interval, it has difference also, okay, equal difference, and then comes that ratio scale, which has all these three characteristics, characteristics of all these three scales, and one more, that is absolute zero wali condition. Okay, so let's do one exercise. This is one example. Religious affiliation. Hindus equals to 1, Muslims equals to 2, 6 equals to 3, Christians 6 equal to 4. Can you tell me what a scale is this?
Nominal.
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 Right. And why it is nominal?
Ma'am, because the number doesn't indicate different, have no real meaning.
Yes, ma'am. No meaningful, and there's no true 0 point,
Hmm.
and there's no difference.
Right. Okay, so that's the nominal scale. Second, rank.
Ordinal.
That's ordinal. First Messi, second Ronaldo, third. And why it's ordinal?
Ma'am, it's ordinal because the numbers have real meaning.
Numbers have real meaning, which means, what is this first, second, and third telling?
Ranking.
First is better than second.
Yes, ma'am. First is
But it's
better than
false.
second and third.
Yes, first is better than second, second is better than third. So it's telling you the order. Okay, so numbers are meaningful here. And okay, and other than that, anything else? But whether first and second, the difference between first and second is equal to difference between second and
Ma'am,
third?
it can determine more and less from one another.
Sorry, it can?
Determine more or less.
Yes, it can determine more or less that first is better than second, or more than second, or less than, you know, a different rank holder. But I'm saying that can we say that first, the difference between first and second is equal to the difference between second and third?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No.
So, okay, so let's come to third. On a scale of 1 to 7, how much do you like this class?
Interval.
Ordinal.
What where 7 means like it is very much, and 1 means dislike it, doesn't like it. This is interval or ordinal?
Ordinal.
Okay, so if I give you this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this you are doing rating on a scale, okay, and this difference is equal. Have you ever seen any survey? You know, this is Likert scale. You always counter these type of questions on a scale of 1 to 7. Generally used to measure attitude or behavior on a scale of 1 to 7. How much do you like this class? And okay, I'm telling you, the difference is same. This is same. Now tell me, what scale is this?
Interval.
This is interval.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And fourth one, how much is your weight? What's your income?
Ratio.
Ratio.
This
Ratio.
is
Ratio.
And why this is ratio?
Let me test all the three
And the
characteristics
absolute zero.
and also at the zero.
Yes, 3 characteristics plus absolute 0. So income means no income, right? Okay.
Ma'am, so is it like rating will be in interval and ranking will be ordinal?
Right, exactly. So what kind of analysis can you do? Okay, so we have already defined a scale, but through these scales you get a different idea, data, and based on the data that you get, you can do your analysis. For example, अगर मेरे पास ये वाला डेटा आता है, nominal scale, okay, I pick 5 students and give them male or female kind of assign values to them. Or if I get this religious affiliation, मैं 100 लोगों से एक सर्वे भरवाती हूँ and I ask them to fill their religious affiliation. What kind of analysis can you do that from that data? Just think about it. What kind of analysis you can do? I asked 100 respondents to fill this question. कुछ लोगों ने Hindus भरा, कुछ लोगों ने Sikhs. And when I get the data, what can I say?
To know the majority.
You can know the majority or say, और थोड़ा define करेंगे इसे majority. Yes, basically
Some
you,
distribution of religion amongst people. I mean, who follow what?
yes, who follow what, as in give me that term.
The number of people following a particular religion.
How much percent of people?
Exactly, number of people or percentage of people. Yes, I can do that kind of analysis. I can also do crosstab. Do you understand what is crosstab? Crosstab क्या होता है? So crosstab is nothing, just, you know, for example, I have two categories. One is of gender, that is male and female, and one is, say, of religion. Both are categorical data, and then I can just check, you know, how many Hindus are male, how many Hindus are female, how many Sikhs are male, female. This is just crosstab. Okay, if I have categorical data, then I can run crosstab. Okay, so next is ranking. If you have ranking, say first, second, third, what kind of analysis you can do? Or if you have rating or ratio, let me show you this. Okay, if you have ranking, you can tell, you know, who are the top 3 scorers, or which is the most wanted thing. Okay, so this is rank 1. You can ask, for example, you can give 3 products and ask a person, you know, rank in, rank is 1, 2, and 3. So whichever ranks comes on rank 1 is the most wanted thing. Okay, so that is something that you can do for rating. So this interval and ratio gives you more power in terms of doing, you know, high level or advanced analytics or advanced level of statistics. So, you know, you can do through this interval and ratio scale. For example, correlation, t-test, ANOVA, factor analysis, regression and analysis cluster, all these you can do through this data, but not from this data. You can do percentage, you can do crosstabs, median, ये सब तुम निकाल सकते हो from this data. And it is also called non-metric data. Okay, whatever data you get from nominal and ordinal, that is non-metric data. But whatever data you get from interval or ratio, that is metric data. So always remember that, you know, when you are framing your question, what kind of questions you are asking. It's a ranking scale or it's a rating scale. And you should be very clear with this thing that, you know, if you have to do what exactly you want to know, if there is a regression you want to run, if you want to know what is the relationship between dependent and independent variable, whether advertisement is affecting sales, then the data should be captured in, you know, metric form. Okay, non-metric form में आप वो analysis नहीं कर पाओगे. So it is very important that what kind of data you are collecting, and it depends on what kind of question you are asking, what kind of scale you are using in that questionnaire. That defines कि अच्छा ये वाला question मैंने पूछा, then it is what scale. And after that, okay, now you can do these kind of analysis on these questionnaires. Okay, so there's one assignment for you. Let me read this question for Dell case study. Review the Dell case and questionnaire given towards the end. So I have given you Dell case study. I have given you a couple of other case study also. So whatever case study you have as a group, okay, you have to just do this assignment. What you need to do is you need to check the question and you have to identify whether it's nominal, whether it's ordinal. For example, let me read out one question for you. Question 14 is, are you male or female? Male is 1, female is 2. What data it is? What kind of a scale it is?
Nominal.
Nominal, yes. So you have to do this only, okay? Or which of the following best describes your household total yearly income before taxes? And under 20,000, 20,000 to 29, 30,000. What is this?
Interval.
Ratio.
Interval.
Ratio.
This is ratio.
True zero. Ratio.
Ratio. Because income can come in zero also. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you can go through all these things. What all you can do? What is chi-square test? You can do cross tabs and then you can do chi-square. What is chi-square test? Nahi yaad?
Ma'am, it helps determine relation between two category heads.
Yes, ma'am. 2 or more categories.
Relationship. What do you understand by relationship between two categories?
Like you
Ma'am,
said, how many females or males are from this particular religion?
ma'am उनका mean check करते हैं.
Ma'am, whether they are dependent or independent.
Related or not?
No.
Hmm.
Significance क्या टेस्ट करते हैं? chi-square में क्या टेस्ट करते हैं? Why this test is done?
Ma'am, if there is no difference between the observed and the expected variables.
Yeah, you can say observed or expected or whatever you are trying to see, whether it's just, randomly coming up or is there any actual difference between male and female. If I say Hindus are more males, okay, let's randomly. So whether this is true or it's just randomly is coming, whether there is a difference between males and females in terms of religious affiliation, okay. I gave you one question on null hypothesis. Do you remember? What is null hypothesis? Null hypothesis क्या होता है? जिसने
Which is true.
Yes, Priyanka.
Null hypothesis is true and
Null hypothesis
alternate is we have to prove or check.
we have to prove. Okay. Anything else about null hypothesis? क्या
Ma'am,
चीज?
like the null is always presumed to be true. Null hypothesis. It's assumed to be true.
It's assumed to be true.
Yes, ma'am. And the other has the burden of the proof.
Other has the burden of proof. Okay. So have you ever heard this? Innocent unless proven guilty.
Yes, ma'am.
So null hypothesis is status quo. If you say what is the impact of advertisement on sales, so your null hypothesis is status quo. It's a state of no change. Okay, हम उसे रिजेक्ट करते हैं, हमेशा नल हाइपोथेसिस को रिजेक्ट करते हैं, हम चलते हैं उसी डायरेक्शन में व्हाट इज नॉर्मली हैपनिंग. ओके, व्हाट इज द स्टेटस क्यो? देयर इज नो चेंज. So whatever statement defines no change, there is no impact, there is no relationship between this and this variable, no, there is no impact of advertisement on sales. This no change status quo wali condition will always come in null hypothesis, and you always reject your null hypothesis. And if you reject your null hypothesis, then you accept your alternate hypothesis. Okay, I'll share one video with you for this, for null hypothesis. I think I have already shared on Quick Force as well. Okay, next is data and type of analysis. We have already covered this, that nominal and ordinal, you have non-metric data and that doesn't follow normal distribution. Whereas in interval and ratio, you have metric data, and metric data give you power of analysis. And you can do all the tests like regression, correlation factor, cluster, all these things you can do through metric data. So there are certain scale characteristics, and I'm sure you'll be able to understand it now. What is description? Description comes in which scale? Unique labels या descriptors use करते हैं. It comes in all scale, but which has only
Nominal.
Nominal has only this. And ordinal. So it has nominal plus ordinal, both this order quality. And third is distance. Characteristics of distance is in
Interval.
That's an interval. And the origin, that is true 0 point is in
Ratio.
Ratio.
ratio scale. Yes. Just one quick question. Student class rank is what scale, and whereas GPA is what scale?
The first one is ordinal,
First one is ordinal.
and the second one is ratio.
Second one is ratio. No, it's not. This is average.
Interval.
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 Yes, it's interval. Okay, so you also said something, you know, तुम थोड़ा confused थे in ordinal and interval when I started this session. It is satisfied, satisfied. So if you are, you know, giving, this is the question. Choose from the following: dissatisfied, satisfied, very satisfied, delighted. Okay, you know this is the order that is progressing. Okay, dissatisfied से better है, फिर satisfied, फिर very satisfied, with delighted. Okay, but it's not telling you what is the difference between these two. Between these two, you know, dissatisfied or satisfied से कितना difference है. So that's why this is ordinal or ranking scale. Okay, but if you say on a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you rate the brand Nestle on price? Where 1 means very poor, 10 means very good. You are defining a scale. You are giving a scale actually. So this is a rating scale, and this is interval. And if I have to ask you, you have to run regression. तो कौन सी scale पे तुम run कर सकते हो? On
Rating scale.
Yes, on this. Okay, you can run regression here, or you can run regression on ratio scale. Ratio scale में तो anyways you have all the properties. So, for example, income. Income is what?
Ratio.
Sale. Again, what is scale? Sales is you're spending on advertisements, ad dispense. All these are ratio scales because it has 1, true, 0. Okay, so we have some time, 6-7 minutes. Let me quickly finish this also. Okay, this classification of scaling techniques. So there are two different types of scaling techniques. One is comparative scales and another one is non-comparative scales. So comparative scales are your nominal and ordinal. Okay, and your non-comparative scales are interval and your ratio scale. And in these we will discuss ये paired comparison क्या होता है, what is rank order, what is constant sum scale, and I'll give you some examples. Also in interval non-comparative scales, continuous rating scale क्या होता है, Likert scale क्या होता है, what is semantic referential scaling. Okay, let me quickly give you one example. So when you come for class next, the next class will be on 23rd, that is on Monday. Yeah, so you can go through all this, and let me show you one example for paired comparison. So we are going to present you with, this is for obtaining shampoo preferences using paired comparison. So what you do in paired comparison is that you ask a respondent to compare between two products. Okay, and you ask them what is your preference between these two products. Then you show them again other two products. So here what they are doing is they have these 10 pairs of shampoo brands, or say they have these 5 brands, and they want to know what is the preference. Okay, which brand is most preferred. Okay, they want to know this. So how they are asking this question is कि 5 brands इन्होंने rows में कर दिए. Okay, this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and 5 brands इन्होंने columns में कर दिए. Basically they have made a pair. Okay, so that they can compare all these brands. So first को first से, first को second से, third, fourth, fifth, ऐसे. So this with this, this with this. So 0 here indicates is that the respondent is preferring this brand. Here, this brand. One means respondent is preferring head and shoulders over Zermac. So that is paired comparison. Okay. Now they have given these numbers. कि मैंने Zermac और Finesse से ये दो brands दिखाए respondent को, and I am asking which one is your preferred among these two. Respondent says Zermac, so I have given it 0. Then I asked Vidal, Sasson and Zermac, what is your, you will give preference to which brand? They are saying again Zermac. Then I asked Head and Shoulders and Zermac, they said Head and Shoulders. So I have given this one. And what you do after that is you calculate these numbers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 for Finesse. Vidal is 0. And then Head and Shoulders is 4. So इसके basis पे you get this number and based on this you rank them. Rank कर सकते हो आप इसे numbers of times preferred. ये हमारा आ गया कैसे rank करेंगे इन 4 brands को? Which one is first? Rank 1.
Head and Shoulders.
Head and shoulder.
Yes, this is rank 1. Second one.
Zermac.
Zermac.
And this is your third, this is fourth, and this is fifth. So in next class, let me stop sharing this now. Yes. So in next class, we'll discuss about, all these type of scales, what kind of questions you ask, how can you measure this, why this scale is used, what is the difference between paired comparison and, say if you show all the brands to respondent, kya problem hoti hai? Why we are going with paired comparison? And yeah.
Ma'am, actually, I have to make an announcement regarding the student council event.
Yes, please do.
Can
I'm done actually. I can, I can continue in next class, right?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So good afternoon, everyone. Student council is back with another
afternoon.
Friday event, Fortune Rush, organized by Equinox Club. We have 3 rounds: Ecoholics, Wordly, and Real Time. These rounds will enhance your knowledge related to economics, along with having some fun. And as you all know, being a part of these events will always be an add-on to your CV. So I've shared the registration link on the WhatsApp group. So kindly register as soon as possible. Hope to see you all soon tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thanks, Shivangi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Avalok.
So, okay, that was all. We'll meet on, there's no extra class, no? Ho gaya tumhara then, okay. So we are meeting on 23rd then. All right then, bye-bye.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Ma'am,